Why hello there everyone! This tutorial features these beautiful victory rolls and vintage waves, and also this makeup look that I did on this very special vintage photo shoot. If you haven't noticed from the title, it's for my pregnancy announcement. Stay tuned till the end to see how the photograph came out. To start off, I'm using a white base. I'm using the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, and I'm going to spread it with a brush. I really want my eyes to pop since I won't be using much eyeshadow for this look. It's going to be very simple and classy. To set that base, we're going to use a neutral flesh tone eyeshadow, and the one that I'm using is called Foxy from the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette. To add some definition to my eyes, I'm using this mocha colored eyeshadow and swooping it back and forth in my crease. Taking a little bit of this chocolate eyeshadow, I'm going to place it right below that mocha color eyeshadow to add some definition to my lid. I want to keep my lid nice and bright, so I'm taking a little bit of this champagne colored eyeshadow, which is a little bit on the white frosty side, and I'm going to place it all over my lid. Now for my favorite part, gel liner. We're going to start by doing a little flick at the end of our eye. And we want to keep this wing nice and classy since this is a vintage 50s look. We're going to keep it nice and simple and not too crazy. Keep the wing nice and thin and you'll have a beautiful payout. Add some beautiful natural lashes to keep this look nice and simple. And let's move on to our face. For our face, I'm going to use the LA Pro Concealer in Creamy Beige. And I'm going to highlight under my eyes, on my chin, on the bridge of my nose, and on my forehead. I like to blend out the product a little bit with my fingers and then follow it through with a more brightening concealer, which is my favorite concealer, the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer, and I'm going to place that right on top. Go over those areas with a damp beauty blender and make sure everything is nice and evenly blended. Set those areas with a beautiful brightening powder. The one that I'm using is from Anastasia Beverly Hills in the color Vanilla and Banana. I don't want to contour too much, but I did contour a little bit on my cheeks. And I'm going to follow through with this beautiful pink blush from Tarte in the color Dollhouse. For my waterline, I'm using this beige eye pencil to open up my eyes. Using a little bit of that chocolate eyeshadow we used before, we're going to smudge out our bottom lash line. For this look, I'm going for bold red lips, and the first thing I'm going to do is outline with a red lip liner and follow through with a beautiful red lipstick. All done with our face! Ugh, my crazy baby hair has a mind of its own. Anyways, let's move on to our hair. To start off my victory rolls, I wanted to do a side part, so one of the victory rolls is going to be bigger than the other. I brought down that part towards the back of my ear and sectioned off that hair with a hair clip. But if you're going to try this look, you can definitely do a part down the middle so both victory rolls can be even. Tie the rest of your hair in a ponytail and get it away from your face, and now it's time to curl the front of our hair. Grabbing 1-inch sections of hair at a time, we're going to curl our hair all in the same direction around the curling iron. I have the heat of my curling iron in the highest setting, so we're just going to hold the hair in place for 15 seconds and let it go gently. While the hair is still hot, I'm going to do my 2-finger roll method, and I'm going to roll the hair around my fingers and wrap it in a little roll and clip it in place so it can cool down. Moving on to our next section of hair, just continue the same steps that we did and curl the hair all in the same direction. And don't forget to do the 2-finger roll method while the hair is still hot. And clip it in place so it can set and cool down. Moving on to the other side, we're going to continue the steps as before, separating 1-inch sections, rolling it and curling it in the same direction. And for this side of our hair, we're probably going to end up with 3 rolls since I did a side part as opposed to the other side, which I only have 2. After you're done, hit it up with some hairspray and we can move on to the back. Now for the back of the hair, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to curl small sections, ideally 1-inch sections, and curl them in the same direction and hold for 15 seconds. Continue curling the rest of your hair in 1-inch sections all in the same direction, and your vintage waves should all flow in the same direction. Then when you're finished, just set with a little bit of hairspray. The next step is very important. We're going to take a paddle brush and we're gently going to brush through our vintage waves, and this is to help the waves be nice and uniform and all flow in the same direction. Now it's time for our victory rolls. First, we're going to unclip the hair on one side and brush through to make sure all the waves are going in the same direction. Look at how pretty. We can just leave it like this, right? So taking a comb, we're going to add a little bit of hairspray and comb it through that top section of hair. This is to create a base and keep all the hair in the same direction where our victory rolls will be sitting on. To start off the victory roll, we're going to do again the 2-finger roll method and roll the hair in the same direction, but this time we're going to create a little wheel facing frontwards just above your eyebrow. Clip in place right in the center of the victory rolls with 1 or 2 bobby pins. And check out your hair. What do you think? Moving on to our next side, we're going to do the same thing. And remember, since I did do a side part, this side is going to have less hair and it's going to create a smaller victory roll. Do the 2-finger roll method, roll it in place, clip it in place with your 2 bobby pins and make sure the bobby pins are hidden, and set with hairspray. And voila, you are done! Even though this hairstyle was for a vintage photo shoot, I do love wearing vintage hairstyles on day-to-day occasions. They are so eye-catching and classy. Ready to see my pregnancy announcement? This was how we announced to our friends that we were expecting our 2nd child. Thanks for watching. If you haven't seen my latest video on how I surprised my husband that I was pregnant, click on the video above or click on the link in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with my pregnancy journey and for my other tutorials.